Hello everyone, my name is Sheen and welcome back to the channel. We are back in Savannah Vista, including a new a logo because I didn't have one previously, which was provided for me by the lovely Sparrow. And yeah, I thought after the holidays and because it's snowing here, I thought let's get back to a more warmer climate zoo than my city zoo. So here we are, and just as a quick recap, I am giving you a tour of the zoo again, just so you can familiarize yourself again with it, because I myself was like, what exactly did I do here again? So it's good to see it again. And also see a few unfinished bits and pieces here and there. So we are currently at the little island with the African sport tortoise and Thompson gazelle habitat on the right hand side, and on the left hand side we have one part of the flamingo habitat. And here you see an unfinished aardvark habitat, although it seems to be too small for two aardvarks, so maybe I need to scrap that idea and put like beds in there. I don't know. I'm not quite sure as of what I will do with that. But on the other side of the tortoise and gazelle habitat, I wanted to make a cheetah habitat, although I am not quite sure how to do the habitat barriers, so I might scrap that as well, I don't know. And yeah, now we are going back over to like the mainland and seeing again the Dik and meerkat habitat, which I am still very fond of. And you can also see a little sneak peek of what we are building today. Today we are building a rainforest house for the pygmy hippo and the red river hawk. As I said in the previous episode, I want to make every building that I built be representative of one architecture style from any country in Africa. And the last time I did not look up if the architecture that I was going for was in the same area that the animals are living in, so I changed that for this episode. So the pygmy hippo and the red river hawk are both found in Liberia, according to the Planet Zoo Wikipedia. Planet Zoo Zoopedia, I mean. And yeah, therefore I searched for Liberian architecture and I came up with the museum, the National Museum of Liberia. And I liked the building, and so I decided to recreate it in Planet Zoo. And because the pygmy hippo is a rainforest animal, I knew I was going to make a whole house where the habitat would be inside, so it needed to be a bigger building than, for example, the one for the spurred tortoises and Thompson gazelles. So yeah, I thought this was a good fit, and I tried my best at recreating it, although I know at some point I just went with whatever I want to do, and therefore it's just an inspiration, a heavy inspiration. After I did a bit of the surrounding building, I was getting a bit overwhelmed with the building itself, so I started building the inside, and therefore also the part that is more fun for me in Planet Zoo, which is like terrain, stones, plants, all of these things, like everything other than building. If you are having fun at any point while watching this video, I would very much encourage you to press that subscribe button and maybe leave a like or a comment, whatever you feel like. I would greatly appreciate that. Now let's get back to the habitat I'm building, or rather the building that I'm building. So I was starting to make these little archways, which you could also see in the picture that I showed previously. They were kind of okay. It was a little bit of a struggle to find pieces that I can use for like the around the arches, like, you know what I mean. But in the end I settled for these. I think they are from the African pack. Then I started working a bit on the walls. I did not finish them, but I wanted to have a bit of a feel how this building is coming together. And after I put some walls down, I turned my attention to the terrace balcony that they have in the original image, and I wanted to recreate this. And with that image in mind, I also had the idea that there would also be a room for people to rent. I'm sorry that this speed build is like hopping from place to place, because now we are back to doing more inside the building with the actual habitat, and I figured that I need to make a little pool for the pygmy hippo, because otherwise you don't have an underwater viewing area, you just have a viewing area of them swimming, and that was not the point of that viewing area, or that wasn't supposed to be the point, so I made them a little pond. I also created again my own mud pillars, using the twilight stalactites and then putting roots and various plants on them. I made, I think, a total of 3 different versions of this that I used in this habitat. And I also made sure to connect the pool with the rest of the habitat with some stones, and I did 2 different little waterfalls just so it's not looking so random that there is like a pool of water and then another pool of water like a little bit lower. So yeah, and now I realized the pygmy hippos needed more water, and I made them more water until I knew, until they had enough, they needed 300 square meters, and I at this moment had the water requirements, or the water was at 307 square meters, so I thought, okay, that's enough, that's cool, I can work with that. And then I went back to doing the mud walls and plastering all the backside walls of the habitat so that it looked more like a jungle and not like a building, even though it is a building. I also had some fun with this tree root thing where I made a little arch out of it. I don't know, I think it's looking nice, and I just wanted something that draws your eye towards that area, and also to give the animals a bit more privacy, so you can see what is behind that, and you also can't really see much when you are in the under viewing area what they're doing on that rock. So I liked that idea, and this is actually one of the first times where I was like, okay, I need to have the enrichment in, and I did that before I finished everything else. But also you just saw me realizing that now that I put all the plants and stones in, I don't have enough water for the pygmy hippo, but I just gave up. I just left it at I think 280 square meters or something, so it's a bit too small for them, but at that stage, of course I will not go on and redo the whole building to make the habitat bigger, so that's not gonna happen here. So I was just done with it and was like, okay, you need to live with that, it's fine. And here we are, back at building the building, this time again at the balcony, doing the roof for it. And yeah, I just put the plaster pieces, and on top of them I put I think it's the corrugated metal sheets. And then I needed to do windows, and at first I wanted to do them by myself, but gotta be honest here, I couldn't be bothered. After realizing the habitat is not as big for the pygmy hippos as it needed to be, I was a bit done with it, so I just used the windows from the game. But I did make my own roof, using the same roof that I had there for the balcony, just putting some wooden beams underneath it to give it some support, because of course, since you can go inside the building, you will see the roof structure, and I wanted to make it look nice-ish, so I put some structural wooden beams there. And yeah, then I just needed to put some walls under the roof sides, some windows, and that's basically it. And now we are at the finished project, and all I can say is I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please leave a like, a comment, maybe even subscribe, and we'll see each other in the next one. Bye!